Hey everyone, it's me, Danielle. Boy, what a year last week was, right? It was a crazy week. The election happened. So far, it looks like Trump has been declared the winner of the election. And a couple of people have asked me to do a follow-up about the results and the predictions that I covered in my last video. Um, I feel like, I kind of already went over what everyone said. Um, you know, this half predicted that Trump would win, and this half said Harris would win. But it's hard for me to say who's accurate because there was all these other small things that they said, like uh, things about assassination attempts or the Democrats trying to steal the election. Um, and I think there's a couple of things that we won't know until everything really shakes out and there's an inauguration, right? Because something was supposed to come to light that we didn't see coming. And so far, I don't feel like anything's come to light. I don't think there was another attempt on Trump's life. Don't know if there's going to be, and if that person was even right. Um, so it's hard to say as far as this half, which ones are most accurate. Oh yeah, somebody said a Democrat was going to be dying. Um, a whole civil war. There's some things here. So it's hard to do a follow-up. And also somebody had said, I don't, they couldn't find some of the videos that I had watched. I had linked in the video description of my last upload a couple of the things, the channels that I watched. So once you watch something that's probably hashtagged 2024 election or predictions, that kind of thing, the algorithms start suggesting things for you to watch. And so that's probably what happened. That's probably how I found a lot of the stuff that I watched. One thing that I noticed, and I didn't mention last time, but I wanted to talk about, is how it didn't really seem to matter which side the person said was going to win the election. There was a lot of talk about how the other side needs to wake up. So both sides feel like they have more information and knowledge than the other side. There's a lot of talk about how people need to wake up. And it's used that term a lot as well in the spiritual community. And it's kind of a shitty way to talk about other people. I just wanted to point that out that everybody seems to think that they're the ones that have the information and that the other side isn't awake yet. As far as that goes, and as far as I understand, we are all on a path together, and that some people may be further along the journey than somebody else, but that somebody else is not meant to be talked about in a way that they aren't awake and they aren't as good or far along or anything as you are. They are exactly where they need to be, and you are where you need to be. And as far also as what somebody's experiencing and somebody else is experiencing, we are choosing um, our experiences by putting our energy towards things. So if somebody wants to experience, a life that, this is hard, it's just hard to say, but a life where everything's a conspiracy and there's lots of twists and turns and that, they're going to experience that because that's where they're putting their energy. That's not to say that, I don't want to spiritually bypass and say that somebody that wants to experience a lot of hardships is choosing it, but you know, we, we do need to examine these things, examine blocks that we're putting for ourselves. The other thing is, like Lily Nova saying that Trump is, um, you know, working with the alliance to help humans evolve, and there's going to be this big shift. But she's not saying it because he's like, she believes he's a good guy or he's doing good things. Like she's saying that he needs to break the system, but she's saying it that he's sort of like undercover and he's doing it knowingly by hanging out with the bad people. And I don't know that he knows consciously um, this much and that he's so enlightened. I don't know about any of that. I think the shift and the ascension for mankind, and I was watching somebody explain this and it did resonate. Thank you, Joe. The shift, I already knew this anyway. The shift is, us going from ego-centric to heart-centric living. And somebody who's doing that, there would be evidence if there was a collective shift to heart-based living, there would be a shift that we would all see and recognize because people would be kinder and more caring towards each other, towards the planet, towards animals in general. Like just, we'll see this shift. I think it will be very obvious when there's a collective shift. We may recognize it in individuals, but I don't see it happening yet collectively. And I don't think that they're maybe, I wouldn't say that Trump is living heart-centered. And I don't know that politicians in general are. And I don't know what it's going to take for us to do that. But I do know that just because somebody is, for example, a religion, and I'm going to point to the far right now, just because, say, there's a lot of Christians who are far right, doesn't mean they are living in their heart, because that kind of living is called Christ consciousness. That is the name of it. And that means that you would be doing things the way Jesus would have done. Not to say that, and Christ doesn't mean just Jesus. Christ is a term, and Jesus is a Christ. Anyways, look, you guys can look it up. Maybe I'll look it up right now. Actually, pause. Okay, I got my notes. The Greek word Christ means anointed one. I knew this. These are actually my notes. I've typed this. At the time, many enlightened people were considered Christs. So when I say, like, yes, everyone just says Jesus Christ, they think Christ is just one person, but it really is about becoming enlightened, anointed, and all that. And Jesus himself is about unconditional love and growing our heart chakra, and that is what I'm talking about. All right, so anyone in any religion can have Christ consciousness, grow their heart chakra, feel unconditional love. This is not about a religion in particular. So I wanted to make that clear. Anyways, what I'm saying is that if there was a collective shift where we are doing that, it's going to be very obvious to all of us. And if we had a leader or somebody in politics that was living that way, I think we'll know, right? So that's why I'm still kind of waiting to watch these results, and how everything pans out, and how some of the other predictions, the side things, how those come to light. Anyone who wants to watch what I watched, I did put, like I said, links from in the last video. So you can click and follow those channels if you like, see what they're saying. Okay, so this channel actually is not a political channel. It is a more metaphysical, spiritual consciousness channel. So I did get hired to do a drawing for Spirit Guide. I didn't record my meditation. I had a hard time. I think I was talking about it last time, that I had some work done on my energy, and I had to spend some time adjusting, healing, and everything else. But meanwhile, I had already seen the guide, so I did draw her, and this is what she looked like. Now, it's kind of interesting. The aura was indigo, and it would shift to blue, purple, and magenta. I've noticed that when auras shift like that, it seems like the being is also a shapeshifter. So this one is an Arcturian human hybrid. I believe she lived on Earth as an Egyptian. Now, I don't know if she was shapeshifting to look human to other Egyptians and people at the time, but or if she looked like this to everyone. You know, there is artwork that Egyptians made that are questionably look like ETs walked among them openly. So I couldn't tell you. Um, I've been sort of giving myself, a little bit of time to integrate and heal, and so I have not sort of dive back into trying to connect to the guides and ask any of these type of questions. I just thought I would share the artwork. She reminded me a lot of like Cleopatra type energy. I love the hair. I think she's gorgeous. I did see some relatives and friends who had passed on of this person. I saw that they're really good at manifesting as well. But that was about it. As far as the artwork goes. But I think it's gorgeous. I think that hybrid look is so beautiful. I have seen other Arcturian hybrids. I don't know if I've shared it before. Let me see if I can. Okay, so I did do, in the past, I've done another Arcturian human hybrid, and this is what she looked like. So she had looked like she was Asian and human, Earth human, and Arcturian mix. I had drawn the snake with her because I did see the spirit animal of this person, and they wanted the spirit animal included in the artwork, which, it's just so you don't think that the woman had a snake on her. She didn't. But so the Egyptian one I just did is not the first time I've seen a human Arcturian hybrid, and I've seen Arcturians. Of course, my own one of my higher selves is Arcturian, but it's mixed with dragon, so it looks completely different, not human. So, so I was excited to do that new drawing this week and get that done. Other than that, I mean, I didn't have a whole lot else to kind of talk about this week. I just wanted to basically go over what I think the ascension shift is going to look like and how we'll recognize when it's happening. And we can analyze ourselves and see how heart-based we are living. How, if are we taking, are we thinking and feeling anything about other people, connected to other people? Is love growing in our hearts? Do we have more empathy? Do we care about the planet? Do we care? You know what I mean? Like, how are we doing this? Are we doing things that, what would Jesus do? Are we feeding homeless? Are we volunteering? Are we, things, actions, not just words? I think that's going to be a really good indication about where we are and where we're going and how it's playing out. As for now, I think we're just going to have to watch and see. I did see, and it was pretty shocking, aside from the way people are talking about the other people, like saying, wake up, wake up. Spiritually, people are saying it. People wake up when they are ready and when they have, put it into their life plan to do so. But I'm surprised to see some of the posts from people who are spiritually, in the community, supposed to be enlightened. I saw somebody put a meme who's in the spiritual community, asking where they get in line to pick up their handmaiden, and I was pretty surprised that there's a lot of women upset right now about the election results, and for somebody to post meme about what their real and legitimate concerns about their healthcare is going to be like, and make jokes about it, I felt like that's not heart-based living. So, I think we should just pay attention to what we are putting out there, um, concentrate on growing our own hearts and not worrying about what somebody else, and where they are on their path, their journey. Um, Not being cruel to somebody that is not at the same place you are. Just and be understanding and compassionate. We're all connected, and we are all connected in our heart space. We really are. So treating each other like that would be really, really great sign. um, I don't know. What do you all think? I'm not here to fight about politics. I'm here to talk about the predictions and the shift and ascension and how it's going to play out and what it's going to look like. And, you know, and if any of these other side predictions come true, I mean, I'll definitely come back on and talk about that. All right. Leave comments. I love to hear about, how you're feeling, if you're seeing evidence of any sort of shift and what you think that's going to be like, and ascension. And for me, I know that, that idea, the concept of waking up, like people usually have to go through this dark night of the soul. That's what it's usually called. It's not fun and it's not games. It's usually really hard. People don't just like wake up like Sleeping Beauty, a prince kiss them and boom, they're, enlightened and whatever. It's usually a real shift has to happen. And it's, most lessons don't come easy. All right. Um, Take care of yourselves. Thanks so much for watching. And, check in. Let's keep checking in. All right. Thank you. Bye. Have a great weekend.